you very much, His Excellency, for accepting me to interview with TurDef. You are in Kyiv since 2019, and you have witnessed the development between Turkey and Ukraine on defense industry. How do you assess the development of this sector?
Thank you very much. Yes, I've been in Kyiv since 2019, but before becoming ambassador in Kyiv, I was also in charge of the Eastern Europe department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ankara. That's why I have been witnessing the developments between Turkey and Ukraine even longer. In that case, in that sense, I would like to emphasize that the relations, not only in defense industry, but as a whole, have been intensifying quite dynamically. The defense industries of the two countries, both in sense of private companies as well as the official authorities, government bodies in charge of the sector, have been meeting for quite some time. And that's why I don't think it's surprising to see some concrete projects developing. What can be surprising is the fact that these projects have not developed even before, I would say. Based on this, I want to characterize the relationship as a win-win partnership. Why do I say this? Because Ukraine has inherited a very powerful defense industry foundation when it became independent. I am saying this in sense of infrastructure, of information, of know-how, and of physical capability, including all the necessary raw materials. When you look at Turkey, in the last 20-25 years, Turkey has invested very serious amounts to increase its dependence, its self-sufficiency in defense industry, and we have developed our capabilities greatly. But in a sector like defense industry, obviously working closely with the right partners can accelerate certain aspects of your self-sufficiency and of your self-development. In that sense, when you look at the capabilities of Ukraine and Turkey, you can combine them, and when you add 1 plus 1, you will get 3, because there are obviously aspects where we are competing with Ukrainian defense industry, but there are aspects where the two sectors complement one another extremely well. And I think the recent focus has been on this complementary aspect, and with some joint production projects, with some elements of co-production and export to third countries. Defense industry has become one of the trends in Turkish-Ukrainian cooperation. So that's why we are at a very positive level, and I think we will go further than this.
To go further than this, one has to be at the expo, like today. How do you see the Turkish companies' attendance to the expo?
Well, I remember previous expos, and I remember that we had greater participation from Turkish companies. But here I think we shouldn't be blaming neither the organizers nor the Turkish companies. The blame for the last 1.5 years always goes to COVID and the pandemic. Unfortunately, even pattern of life patterns of people have changed because of this. So that's why under normal circumstances, I believe Turkish participation in this fair would have been much stronger. But nevertheless, we have a respectable level of participation today. We have 3 stands, 3 companies participating with stands, and a number of non-stand companies who are participating. And I was very happy to see Deputy Prime Minister Uruski visiting Turkish stands, as well as head of Ukroboronprom, Mr. Yuri Gusev. This also is a clear indication how greatly Ukrainian authorities assess their cooperation with Turkey. One could have wished for a stronger participation, but since this is the first post or during COVID defense industry fair, I think we have enough material to keep going.
I see. How do you see the future of Turkish-Ukrainian relations as a matter of, as a point of view, advantages and disadvantages? You said we are competing and also complementing each other. So how do you assess them?
Well, here, of course, the main thing is we have both the public authorities talking to one another, as well as the private companies getting together and discussing. As a diplomat, I always focus on the full side of the glass, full half of the glass. Are there some difficulties? Are there some procedures which make life difficult? There always is, but these shouldn't be put at the forefront, and these should not be the top agenda item which we discuss. We should be focusing on the cooperation possibilities, and when you look at that angle, I only see great prospects for Turkish-Ukrainian defense industry cooperation. We have been our defense industry authorities have been talking on official level for many years. They have been discussing on a number of different projects, on a number of different platforms. I was very happy to witness some of these talks turn into concrete projects, signed deals, and I am sure that these are just the beginning for Turkish-Ukrainian defense industry cooperation. And we will be continuing our interaction on a win-win basis with Ukrainian bodies, and the recent track record is a clear indication of where we're headed to.
His Excellency, thank you very much for answering the questions.
Thank you.